Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Senior, coming your way today, a 49ers post-game show as they fall to the Arizona Cardinals 17-10 for their third consecutive loss. But first, shout out to today's sponsor, Manscaped, for making today's show possible. Head to manscaped.com/49ers, enter the promo code 49ers. You get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products. Niners go down in this one in Trey Lance's first career start, 17-10. And it's not like the defense for this team played poorly. They actually were pretty good. Anytime you can hold Kyler Murray under 300 yards of passing, that's a pretty good success. Rondale Moore, DeAndre Hopkins did their thing. Hopkins caught basically the game-winning touchdown pass, but this was an Arizona Cardinals team that entered this game averaging 35 points per game, the number one number across the National Football League, putting up the most yards per game across the National Football League. And this Niners defense able to hold this really dangerous Cardinals offense in check. But at the end of the day, Kyler Murray at the end of this game able to make some really special plays, even though throughout this one he was somewhat underwhelming. And the Cardinals are now the last remaining unbeaten team in the NFL with the loss, the third straight defeat for the Niners. They are 3 games back in the NFC West, which features now the undefeated Arizona Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams coming off a big win against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see what happens with the Seahawks with that Russell Wilson finger injury. But it's not looking good in the early going into the bye week for San Francisco right now. Before we continue to break this game down from the Chat Sports living room, because this is where we are doing our watch party for today's game, give me your one-word reaction to today's loss. And give me those one-word reactions in the comment section down below. For me, it's just maddening because when you look across the board, the Niners have a lot of premier players, offensively and defensively. And I think Kyle Shanahan has the ability to be one of the top offensive masterminds in the NFL. But through 5 games this year, this offense has been lackluster. They have failed to be explosive. This is supposed to be Kyle Shanahan's bread and butter. It's supposed to be his strength and his forte. And this offense has consistently underwhelmed week after week, really ever since that dominant performance against the Detroit Lions, which almost ended in a loss after the Lions came back late in this game. My biggest takeaways: it really came down to the Niners' inefficiency to convert on 4th downs. The Niners on the day, 1 of 5 on 4th downs. And it's not good enough from an execution standpoint and also some of the play calls that Kyle Shanahan had made. Now, I like being aggressive. I like sometimes leaning on analytics, even though sometimes you have to go with your gut in those situations to see how you can be more advantageous. But when you call a quarterback run on a short yardage situation in a closely condensed field, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, the quarterback rollout along the goal line, that was a play call that I like from Shanahan because you limited Trey Lance's vision to one side of the field. You gave him limited reads, and you gave him the option as to whether he could take off or make a throw. And the football, the point of it, was probably a half football away from that being a touchdown, and it might change the game. But I think the play calling from Kyle Shanahan can be better. When you have George Kittle, who's now on IR, but has played every game up to this point, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and you have some of the other weapons and a good offensive line led by Trent Williams, you would think that the offense could be more explosive and put up more than 10 points against a Cardinals defense that does have some holes, but the Niners were just bad on 4th downs, and that really ended up changing the complexion of the game and flipping the momentum. 7 penalties for 60 yards. There's nothing that annoys me more than avoidable penalties, especially when a good team is committing them. When you continue to shoot yourself in the foot, you're not going to beat or have a chance against an undefeated team like the Cardinals, and that's what happened to the Niners today. Some more of my takeaways, if we could pop that up. Trey Lance certainly looked like a rookie. I thought his performance in his first career start was gutsy. I think his teammates around him could have done a better job. I think Kyle Shanahan could have done a better job from a play calling standpoint, and when you let your rookie quarterback down by dropping passes that are certainly catchable, you just have to make those plays and rise up to the occasion to help your rookie out because he was getting kind of overtaken and dominated, the Niners offensive line, and Trey Lance was, by a very, very stout Cardinals defensive line. They were eaten, led by J.J. Watt, and some of the resources that they have used there along the defensive line. Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, some of the other players in that secondary on the defensive side of the ball really has this Cardinals team figuring to be very, very dangerous. And like I said, Kyler Murray is special, and he made really, really special plays at the end of this game. That turnaround play where he extended it, threw it downfield to DeAndre Hopkins, which then led to the Hopkins touchdown catch. There aren't many quarterbacks across the National Football League who can make those types of plays. Kyler Murray was able to make those plays tonight. Let's take a look at Trey Lance's stats for what he was able to do in his first career start, because last week against Seattle, entered the game after halftime, certainly got off to a slow start and improved as the game went along. And during this game, Trey Lance was really just up and down. 15 of 29 for the day, 192 yards, no touchdowns. Did get intercepted on his first drive of the game when he stepped up in the pocket. Had probably about 10 or 15 yards in front of him where he could have gained those yards through the ground. But what I like about Trey Lance and what he can continue to improve upon and why I'm high on him, he never looks to run before he throws. He always looks to throw before he runs. On that interception that he threw, stepped up in the pocket, wanted to make a play downfield, but because he made an off-platform throw, was off balance a little bit, that led to that throw being high. It was inaccurate, and it ended up getting picked off. I would continue to play Trey Lance. This is going to be a major topic of conversation in the building in Santa Clara, as well as across the National Football League, because the Niners are going into a bye week. Jimmy Garoppolo dealing with that calf contusion. George Kittle, by the way, going on IR because Kyle Shanahan said today his calf injury got a lot worse over the last few days. That's why he's landed on IR. But I would continue these building blocks and continue to build upon what Trey Lance did in that second half against Seattle, where I liked his pocket mobility, his pocket feel, and he made some nice throws, especially some athletic plays. And I like some of the things that he was able to do today. I mean, shoot, the guy ran for almost 90 yards on 16 carries. He gives this offense a totally different dimension. So I would not overthink it if I'm Shanahan. You're already right now 2-3. You've lost 3 straight games. This offense has been unexplosive. It's been boring with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think Trey Lance, because of his dual threat ability, allows this offense to be more diverse and less predictable. So I would continue to play Lance because the development moving forward for this franchise of Trey Lance is the most important thing to happen with this team. You have to have him ready to play. You have to work out some of these kinks because he certainly looked raw, but you certainly see the raw ability. Grade Trey Lance's first career start as a Niner for me in the comment section right now. A, B, C, D, or F. Not good enough to be an A. I don't even know if it's good enough to be like a B plus or even a straight up B. Maybe a B minus, maybe a C plus, some positives to take away from it. Look, he played against a good defensive front with some really talented secondary members. Glass half full with Trey Lance. I'm going C plus for my grade. Now, this Cardinals defensive line, they were mowing down the 49ers offensive line today. If you want to mow down on all your hair down in your nether region, no better way to do it than the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped, the official men's grooming product sponsor of the 49ers Report by Chat Sports, but also your San Francisco 49ers. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0, 4 interchangeable blades, a battery life that lasts forever, safeguard technology so you won't cut yourself wherever you're using it. And that's the other great thing. It's the versatility of this product. Use it downstairs, use it on your chest, your back, your beard, your hair, whatever. Either way, get hooked up, 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/49ers. I know that so many people during our watch party in which thousands of people joined us, thank you for making the 49ers Report a part of your day as always. We're saying Kyle Shanahan has to get fired. Kyle Shanahan should be on the hot seat. And does he deserve criticism? There's no doubt about that. When you're supposed to be an offensive mastermind and an offensive wizard and forward thinking with how you draw up plays and how you scheme up your offenses and your offense design, you got to be much better than putting 10 points up on the board, than being one of the slowest starting teams in the National Football League in the first quarter, consistently burying yourselves in an early hole where you have to make these comeback bids. And in certain situations, Kyle Shanahan's play calling hasn't made sense. He's been conservative. He's been erratic. He's been up and down. A lot of times I haven't been able to grasp what exactly he is thinking. I'm not going to say that he is the major reason and the major culprit for why this team has lost 3 games in a row, but he has to be better for this team to get back on track. This is now the second consecutive week also that this Niners defense has played sneakily well. Against Seattle, you start the game off with 5 consecutive 3-and-outs, and it's not like they got big played all day. This is 3 consecutive weeks in which 3 great quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, just beat you down the stretch with some excellent plays that only one-of-one dudes make. That's what happened today with Kyler Murray. But other than that, I thought this defense played pretty well against the highest scoring offense in the NFL. They came into this game averaging 35 points per, and at home with a rookie quarterback that you're going up against. Cardinals offense, they only muster 17. I also want to see more pressure from this defensive line throughout the entire course of the ball game. In moments, they're dominant. Other moments, they're not all that great. And I want to see a more consistent pass rush from this Niners defensive front, which certainly has the cats, certainly has the dudes and the talent to do so. When your back end is relying on Josh Norman to go up against DeAndre Hopkins in one-on-one coverage, if you get pressure on the quarterback, you don't have to worry about what the back end is doing because that quarterback doesn't have time to throw. Deebo Samuel also continues to ball out. Has another touchdown on the stat sheet this year. It was a 14-yard carry in which Trent Williams got out in open space, was able to spring Deebo free with a block downfield. Trent Williams blocking in open space is just a glorious sight. And Deebo Samuel's been a glorious sight this year. He continues to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. That one touchdown run that went 14 yards also brought in 3 receptions for 58 yards. So as we continue to wrap this up, and we continue to break this game down, the thoughts are going to be festering all night. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sleep after how frustrating this loss was, the 3rd straight for the Niners, but we'll be hitting you with videos tomorrow as well. Cardinals on top of the Niners, 17-10. They move to 5-0 on the season. Niners go to 2-3. They go into the bye week. On the other side of that, it's the Colts at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Before I dip out of here, let me know, who do you blame most for this loss against the Arizona Cardinals? Is it going to be Kyle Shanahan, D'Amico Ryans, Trey Lance, somebody else? Drop me a name in the comments section down below. I'll circle back to see what you all come up with. And subscribe to the channel. During our watch party, we picked up about 300 new members of the Niner Faithful here at Chat Sports. We are the largest 49ers news and rumors channel on YouTube. So smash that subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/49ers TV.